welcoming us here to CSKT's lands and for your leadership. Thanks to Vice Chairman Tom McDonald. We've had a great day. Good conversations over at the council chamber, really getting a sense of the opportunities and the needs here, and we're proud to team up with the tribes and with these communities to bring the resources that are going to help save lives and make everyday life a little easier in this region. Also notice the number of small crosses along the side of the roads in too many places that are a reminder of something that our whole country is going through, a crisis in deaths in our roadways that affects every state and every region, but disproportionately affects rural areas and disproportionately affects tribal members. The stretch of US 93 that we're highlighting today is an example of the need and an example of the opportunity. Tribal members and residents of western Montana know this road so well and know that it has a history of crashes, that it can be especially dangerous for people who live around it to walk or to bike. Part of that danger is due to outdated surface conditions. Part of it's due to the lack of a separated, protected bike or pedestrian path, especially when you've got freight or logging trucks doing 70 miles an hour just a few feet away. Part of it's due to the frequency of wildlife vehicle crashes. And during our conversation earlier, the chairman called a show of hands, and just about every hand went up of everyone around that table having personally experienced a wildlife vehicle crash. And of course, when there is a crash, it also brings this whole important highway to a standstill because there's not an alternative route. Thoughtfully designed improvements to other parts of US 93 were developed years ago, but this stretch was left for a later date because it needed particularly careful planning, because it needed community input, and like any project, because it needed funding. Well, thanks to an impressive collaboration between the Confederated Salish and Kootenai tribes, Montana's Department of Transportation, and other communities in this region, you did that careful planning, you turned that community input into a very strong application, and now your work is going to save lives. So on behalf of the Biden administration, I'm so proud to be here to formally celebrate over $110 million in funding through that bipartisan infrastructure law to improve the North 9-Pipe corridor of US 93.
Growing up, as Shane has mentioned, I'd always heard of 93 as being one of the reddest highways in the nation. I mean, it was in the top 10 highways in the nation for accidents and death. And so it's so good to have the projects that are going forward to make it as safe as possible.
And I'm very proud to be standing here in my Senate district at this very special place, not only because of the highway feature that folks just went and looked at, which is for our wildlife, but because this area is culturally significant to our CSKT people.